Shalom. Zei Minhag Tzitzis Breslov. Dem is der Breslov Tzitzit Minhag. This is the Breslov Tzitzit custom, or Minhag. So, first, to tie the Breslov Minhag, you need to have obviously the blue tekheles, but you also need a white shamash. Um, that's about the same length, or can be a little bit shorter, because the tekheles that is supposed to be longer. So now So, you want, like I said, you want the tekheles to be end longer than the white tzitzit, and so you kind of want your tekheles to be even on both sides of the tzitzit. So you want on this side, you really want it maybe about 2 inches longer than the white. As you can see here, and also you want on the underside, you want the tekheles to be on the outside of out of the four. So it should go from right to left. It should go blue, white, 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 and then on the front here, you want from right to left. It should go white, white, blue, white. These two strings that are on the left should be your white shamash and the blue tekheles. So now you want to tie your if you know what a square knot is, that's what you're basically tying. It, I mean, they refer to it as a double knot, but it's technically a square knot. So you always want to make sure that you end after you tie your knot, that your tekheles are in the same place. As you can see, I am fiddling with the strings here. So once you have your knots tied, this double knot up here, what you should do, makes it real simple and less of a hassle. Take the one set of four from underneath and make a knot here. Just makes it so much simpler when you're trying to pull it all together. And then take your two other strings or wires from in front and tie them in a knot. It just makes it so much simpler, less frustrating. Figure out where it is, what side is what and whatnot. So now what you need to do, now you're taking your first you're doing your first folios. So what you do is you actually make a loop. You go under you're taking going like this, you're making a loop. Now you're going around. Three times, so that's once, twice, three times. It doesn't have to be super tight. Just kind of neaten it up a little bit. And now what you're going to do, you want to hold the shamash. You go back over it the same amount of times that you went around the other way. It doesn't have to be super tight because you're gonna want to. Tighten it up. It's gonna take it. I mean, these are all now. also known as Rambam knots. They're found on the Temani Tzitzis. So and you pull the shamash down. The shamash should sit back where it started, and then you take your blue tekheles and you go around 3 times. And it's better. You get a better result and you get more accurate result if you start the winding up top, close to the previous knot. Once, twice, and 3 times. So hold the tekheles down here, and then you're gonna go once, twice, and 3 times, and then you're going to pull it. You're gonna pull the tekheles tight. See, this is what I mean by tying the knots. You get mixed up, and then you can easily find your way out of that mess. And then now you take the white shamash, and now you're going for this one. You're going around once. Just once. So it's 3, 3, 1. That's 7 in total. And then you tie your knot, your double knot again. Here. You also want to keep checking to make sure that you're, like I said, if you're tying the knots correctly, you should always, after you tie that knot, you should still be even uh, down here to a point. I mean, it might be hard to tell because you do have knots tied here, just to make it easier, but you don't want to end up at the end with one side much shorter than the other. So we have that knot, and now you take it's not supposed to be like that. As you can see, this is part of the reason why there's such a hassle to tie. I mean, if you don't care, then, but I mean, whatever. If you're not, but tzitzis, you're supposed to have intent when you're tying them. It's a mitzvah to have tzitzit. It's also a mitzvah for a man. It's a mitzvah gadola for a man to tie his own tzitzit with tekheles instead of having another person tie him for him, like a company. If you order a talis or a talis katan from a company, a lot of times they'll offer to tie tzitzit with tekheles for you. They not. I haven't seen a company yet that offers to tie the Breslov tzitzis. Um, but I mean, they offer to tie, the Ashkenazi, the Rambam Yemenite, Arizal, stuff like that. But it's a it's a greater mitzvah for you to tie your own tzitzis. You have a greater reward with Hashem. So now you take after you tied your double knot, you take the white shamash and you go around once, and twice. And you go back around the opposite way once. You want to make sure you're pulling the chulia tight. Because if your chulios are not tight, they will move when you go to wash them. You will not have that space in there. They can either move down or up, and it's not the same. It's also sloppy. So now you have two, and then you pull the white shamash tight. Now you take the tekheles, and you go around times. Once, twice, and 3 times. Remember, you don't, when you go back around, you want to hold the tekheles down with the rest of its strings, and you go back around. Even with the shamash, you don't want to let go of it when you're going back around, because it'll just move on you. So once, twice, and 3 times, and pull the tekheles tight. You always want to make sure, I'm going to keep saying it, you always want to make sure that when you pull the tekheles tight, you want to make sure it comes in line with where it was before with the white shamash. So now you have that, and now you take the white shamash, and you go around 3 times. You want to make that loop again, and then go over once, twice, and 3 times. Once, back over, twice, twice. Now see, if you don't, it's kind of the result of not having it, the julio close to the previous knot. You get too much distance in between. I mean, that can be corrected easily, but you have to go back around and loosen it, and then it just makes it more of a hassle, because you gotta tighten it when it should have been tight already. And then you now you have that. Now you take your strings, and you tie another double knot. so now on to the third one. So now you're taking um, your white shamash. It's also important to note that every time you end, which is it's only twice, that you end with one chuliah on the section with the white shamash. So you have one chuliah here, and then you have two chuliot here. So you always, if you end on one, you start on two with the white shamash. If you end on three, you start on three. Everything has to do with threes for some reason, or at least with the it seems. But so. So, taking once, once, twice, and three times. So, echad, shtai, shalosh. Tighten it, and then you go once, and you want to always want to make sure you have your strings tight when you're running them around and stuff like that. And your knots tight, because just don't pull it too tight, because you can break the string, and that would be bad. Especially if you break the tekheles, depending on what you decided to buy. Um, the Radziner tekheles is the cheapest, and that's what the Breslov uh, use. I mean, even though some I think use other tekheles, like the tekheles, and down there I saw the other day that there's tekheles for he puts the shema, which is, I mean, tekheles for he puts the shema is just for four strings is $85 US, which is a lot. Um, if you have a sofat, it's like $110 for, because you got double the amount of tekheles. But you know, no one wants to have to spend even more money than they already did. Even 15-18 bucks for the Radziner tekheles is still nothing to say, oh well, I'll just, you know, buy another one. It's waste. And it's not Torah. We do not, we Yidden uh, do not waste because just don't. No. It's contrary to Torah. Because it has some, I'm sure it has something to do with being kadosh. So now you're gonna take the tekheles and go around 3 times. You're always looping around 3 times, or you have 3 chuliot, if you will, links, bindings, whatever you want to call it, with the tekheles. And go once, twice, and 3 times with the tekheles. And then you pull. Now you do another 3 windings with the tekheles. So once, twice, and 3 times through. Make sure that the tekheles and the white shamash meet up together in the same spot. So once, twice, and then you take the tekheles and you pull it tight. And then now you take the white tekheles and you go around twice. opposite direction once. And twice. And you pull your shamash tight. And now you take your 2 sets and your knots. Keeping in mind that you have your tekheles in the same place that they were before. Sometimes it may not look like it, but especially if it's over here, but once you flip it around, it is in the same, your tekheles is in the same spot. That's since we ended off with 2 up here with the shamash, we're going to do 1. And then we put it back with the tekheles. And we go around once and tighten it. And come on. If you're not careful, that the tekheles on the underside will kind of, instead of being on the outside, it'll wander its way on the inside. So now we have that. We have one. Oops. Wrong way. So now we have the tekheles here. Now we have around 3 times. Once, twice, and 3 times. twice. 3 times. I think I went around once too many. I'll leave it there. Don't do what I did, because I accidentally went around one too many times, which is fine. You just gotta realize it before you finish. So this is 3 times, not 4. It may, if you look at it, it may not always look like it's 3, but if you look at the back, or sort of, whatever you want to call it, but you'll have 3 here. It doesn't quite look like it there, but you have 3. So now I ain't tie this one tight enough. So it's for demonstrating purposes. So then we go around 3 times again. Once. Twice. And 3 times. Once. Twice. twice, and 3 times. And back around. So now, and you go around another time, tekheles, and you go around 3 more times. Once, twice, 3 times. Once, twice, and times. So, and then you take the white shamash and you go around 3 times. Once, twice, 3 times. Once, twice, and 3 times. Back around the other way. And then you take your 2 sets and you make your double knot here. And that would be, should be Breslov, uh, Tzitzis Minhag. So that's it, and that's all there is. So you have 7, 8, 11, 13. It's basically a combination of three different minhag, if you will. You have uh, the Rambam, the Arizal, and the Ashkenazi. So I hope you enjoyed, and shalom, Shavotov.